Good morning. Good morning. Hi, everyone. I am Valerie Vande, and I am thrilled to be your co-host today. My other co-host, Linda Landman, and I couldn't be
Hey
further
there.
apart in distance, that is. I'm in Southern California, and Linda is in Florida. So we're further apart in distance, but we both agree on the value of Breakthrough Broker, and we're excited to bring that with you today. I've been in the real estate industry for over 4 decades, actually for 5 decades, but we're not telling, serving thousands of clients and helping professionals grow their businesses through innovative marketing and systems. I'm especially passionate about tools that make our lives as agents easier. And that's exactly why Linda and I are excited about what we'll be sharing today with Breakthrough Broker. And thank you for joining us. I've been a longtime realtor, as I mentioned. I'm the host of 2 radio shows, and I'm an advocate for smart marketing in real estate. When I first started, Twitter was the sound of a bird, and X was something you'd cross off when you didn't want to know anything about it. So we certainly have seen things come a long way. As a matter of fact, when I started, I provided computers in my office for people to come and use my computers and look for properties on the MLS system. So things have certainly changed. But today, we're diving into how to simplify your marketing and free up more time for what really matters, connecting time with clients and closing deals. Not just templates, we're actually giving you the playbook. We know that there are hundreds of programs that are available for all of us. We call them shiny objects, but this is one that we're so impressed with because all the things that it includes at a very low cost, especially for what you get. And we're going to bring that to you today. Some of you may be familiar with Breakthrough Broker, and that's great. We are going to have a place where you can enter your questions in the chat, and we'll answer those. We will have time for questions and answers at the end. So if you're familiar with Breakthrough Broker, some of this might be a refresher. If you're not and you want to know what it has to offer, you are in for a treat.
Thanks, Val. I'm Linda Landman. I'm located on the Space Coast. Been a realtor for about 20 years, but the heart of my background is software. I used to go from different departments and learn a software when someone was quitting and then teach it to whoever was coming aboard. With that in mind, I've tried a number of different softwares throughout the industry, and I've just found that this one offers you everything in one place. So go
And if
ahead, Val.
any of you are aware of it, you all also realize that that's the case. So from door knocking to digital marketing, my goodness, the early days were much more than door knocking. It was a matter of, we were talking the other day about how we printed flyers, and I'm downsizing and decluttering in my office, and all the things I've found that I used to use, postcards and things that we literally had to print out, and all the exciting things that we thought were great at that time. But now all the work that we put into our marketing, and that's just not even necessary anymore. When I started marketing meant postcards, open houses, and flyers, which we had to manually print. Now our challenge isn't how to market. It's so much more about how to choose from all the tools that are available. And we have Canva and we have all of these other tools, but how do you decide really how to be efficient? Because most of us, certainly not me, are professional content creators, and most of us aren't graphic artists. So we need something to help us. We've gone from pixels to from paper to pixels, and most agents like us are just overwhelmed. It's just too much. And we can do one thing, but how do you really do it all? And if you have an open house or you have a listing, you have this long list of all the things you need to do, and some of it's here and some of it's there, and you have to go to Canva and start from scratch. So we wanted something that was easier for us to do. And Breakthrough Broker was created by agents just to have it all in one place and to make it simple. So what is our dilemma? too many tools, too little time, too much cost, and too much effort. Because really, when it comes to the cost, by the time we talk about wasting money on subscriptions, my gosh, we have a subscription for this, a subscription for that, and something that's for video, and something that's for graphics, and pretty soon you have all these subscriptions and they're duplicates and you don't even know it. It's like buying extra because you don't know that you have 7 of them already at home. This weekend we were downsizing and decluttering. I found like 5 boxes of wax paper in my kitchen, but it's kind of the same as what we do here with realtors. Is we just overlap because we don't know what we have. So wouldn't it be easier just to have one place where we could go for everything at one cost and make it really simple? And that's what Breakthrough Broker has developed for us. So Breakthrough Broker, meet this one-stop marketing platform built by real estate professionals for real estate professionals. Sounds good, doesn't it? It simplifies your marketing. It integrates with your MLS. So wouldn't it be great if when you have a listing that automatically goes into this program, so you don't have to download all of your pictures, you don't have to download all the information from your MLS, you don't have to start from scratch, but it's already in there. It automates your campaigns. It knows you had a new listing, so it automatically creates those for you. And yes, there are some programs that also do that, but not that also do the things that Breakthrough Broker does. And then it also keeps your brand consistent. You don't have to enter your picture every time. You don't have to enter all of your information about your name and your phone number and your DRE number and all of those other things. Linda, do you want to add anything to this?
I just found that for me, who I was using, as she suggested, Canva and a number of different softwares. And I spent a lot of, even though I had all this background, I was spending more time on creating marketing than actually marketing. So the last listing I had, I used everything that's already in Breakthrough Broker, and I found it looked a lot more professional than me trying to figure out what kind of slide I should make. So I even did things like they had 20 reasons to hire me, and I used that as a feature sheet for that particular listing. And quite honestly, it looked like I had it professionally printed. So I've been sold on it since I started using it.
So let's go on and show them what is actually in all one place with and without Breakthrough Broker. So let's do some value stacking, because what we want to accomplish today is to make this an introduction to Breakthrough Broker, to give you some value and to really show you what you can do that makes this easier for you, because that's really what we all need. Is we need to save time, we need to save energy. And if you're like me, I get so frustrated. Sure, I can go to Canva, but then I have to start from scratch. I have to pick out a design, even if it's a design I've used before. It's so hard for me. It's nighttime. I have to do this. I've got to do it before an open house tomorrow. I've got to get this done. And it's very, very frustrating. So we know that Breakthrough Broker wanted to create something where it's all in one place. So we've created this as a value stack, because that's really what we want, is value, right? For ourselves and for our clients. Because the money is, you're going to find out at the end, is just minimal compared to all the things that you get. It's a minimal period, but especially compared to all you get. So without Breakthrough Broker, you have Canva for your templates. But with Breakthrough Broker, your templates are real estate designed. So you don't have to go into Canva and look for a real estate template. Breakthrough Broker, that's what you get to start with. It is a real estate program. Without Breakthrough Broker, you have to use something else for your sites. With Breakthrough Broker, there are property websites. It creates a single property website for you that's auto-generated. Without Breakthrough Broker, you have to use MailChimp or some other system for your postcards. With Breakthrough Broker, though, you have an automated postcard campaign. Without Breakthrough Broker, you have to use, which in all fairness to the other, my people who've helped me, you have to have freelancers for design, and that's not always a bad thing. And I have some great ones. But with Breakthrough Broker, you have professional templates that are already ready to use. So if you don't have a VA or you don't have someone that's available to help you, you can have exactly what you need and exactly the same as someone who has a professional. You can get that with Breakthrough Broker. Without Breakthrough Broker, you have hours of manual setup. And with Breakthrough Broker, you have MLS integration and you have instant materials. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
They also have Every Door Direct. This is set up for Every Door Direct, and also for you have a choice with your newsletters. It offers you newsletters within the software, but you can also use them through email or Every Door Direct. So I found that really interesting.
So we have, you can see in Breakthrough Broker that there's a series of programs, no matter what it is that, so for example, I specialize in the senior market. So there are standard, not only standard letters, but when you open up that section, it automatically has your picture in there, it has your logo in there. And then you can, of course, customize the letters, but you don't have to start all over again with the template. It's already there. There's hundreds of customizable designs, and you can add your logo, your colors, all of those things, but you don't have to start from scratch. And then that'll carry over onto the other programs and products that you use. So you don't have to start one template and then you want to do something else, you have to do another template. It carries over into all of those things. And then also, so it creates your flyers, creates everything. And then it also will do the printing and the mailing for you. So you don't have to have a mailing system either. And it gives you the price of what the mailing is going to cost you. So you don't have to go in and research it. You're just going to be impressed with how many hours of time savings that there is. So you have templates for infographics, for newsletters, something that we all want to do. And we think, oh gosh, I'll never get around to doing a newsletter. I can't even get everything else done that I need to do. But here you have it all set up for you. And there, although they're templates, you know, having something done is better than nothing. And you can always customize these. So you can just whip them right out and then customize them for yourself. And then that'll be in the system. So if you want to go back and use it again or do something the next month, it's already there. Your presentations, when you have a listing presentation with a seller or now with a buyer, that those are all built in there for you also. And then, of course, brochures, infographics. And let's talk about the automated campaigns. Linda, do you want to
So
talk about automated campaigns?
I
You're so
did,
good
I,
at software.
what, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, so I saw there was a girl that asked about it. All I did was while we're getting ready for this slide is if you put in newsletter, you get a choice from a number of varieties. And then if you click on one, I was just there, it gives you from the instructions of how it is. And then you can choose, it gives you like clean, sharp, auto newsletters quarterly, it gives you instructions. So for me, doing things like this to make sure that I'm getting touches, even if it's email, I have a really good friend that does email, as long as I'm getting touches once a month and don't have to come up with the content, it's wonderful. The MLS integration, you set that up when you come in, that goes, like you were saying, to everything you edit, then you just go with the content. So what I started doing when I was playing with the software is I just go up into the search bar and put what I'm looking to do, and it gives you designs, different designs to choose from, and then different text to choose from. So in most instances, you'll just be cutting and pasting. I found it very easy to use. As far as the MLS integration, I did that during setup. And so when I go to pull pictures and put something together. I started with, I said, the 12 things you'd like about the property, then the online new listing, and then the print new listing. So to me, and then everything pulls through from my MLS. Even if it doesn't, though, what I did find in some instances, because it took a little bit to get that going with the MLS integration, you can still cut and paste until everything's up and moving. You can still use everything, and it gives you a choice of send to print or download. So I like that. And as far as the single property websites, it did that as well. It let me choose from a number of different choices as far as the look I wanted to use. And I chose a name, they make it a name. So it was, to me, that was something I ran into. I had Lofty for a while and it does a single property website. But I started to think when I was using this, did I want to choose a CRM for a single property website? And I found this would be a much better alternative. And as it says, everything I've done in this never took me longer than a half an hour. So to me, that's what sold me on everything. And then the next one was the pre-written marketing letters. And
we
it's
are
showing
both
you what
really excited about, yeah, we're both really excited about this.
so it shows you right there. You see how it's at the bottom, it says Silver Tsunami. That was one that Val and I talked about because that's what she's doing right now is 65 and over, and those choices they're looking at. And of course, everybody's talking about the silver tsunami coming. So when I pulled that up, it not only gives you a couple of newsletters to use, but it also gives you a strategy. There's also Tom Ferry coaching in here. There's so much pre-written, like they say, that you can just use because I find that I spent a lot of time on content, that this just helped me out immensely. And like I said, I had a lot of different softwares. This just combined it. It was great. What did you find about the pre-written letters, Val?
Well, you can use them for prospecting, for follow-ups, for re-engaging past clients, which is one thing I really need to do. I don't know about those of you who are in our audience today, but I have not done a great job of staying in touch with my past clients over the last few years. And I keep thinking it's something I really need to do. But when I realize that all of that is right in here, I literally, rather than saying, okay, I've got to go down, I've got to write a letter, I've got to do this, I've got to find a format, I've got to find a design, I've got to implement it in my mailing list and my CRM. And here it's all right there. So I could sit down and, as Linda said, in just a few minutes, have a nice letter. And even based on how your CRM is designed, remember that you can have this letter for this group of people and this letter for your sellers, this set for your buyers, this set for people maybe who never transacted with you, but you want to stay in touch. Or for me, I do some property management. So I have another set of people in my CRM who are either property management prospects or people whose homes I manage or who I would like to manage or I have managed in the past and something has changed to update them. So just think of all the different ways that you would love to stay in touch with people or could. And here it's all right at the tip of your fingers. And also letters that are written for real life situations, for like downsizing or expired. And for example, if any of you do work with the older clients or would like to work with older clients, for example, one thing that's really important right now is to find homes that fit them well, which is single story homes or homes that have a downstairs bedroom or even a downstairs bathroom and a den that could be converted to a bedroom. So what if you just wrote to people, if you did a search in the MLS of properties that meet that set of criteria, and you do a letter to them? Wouldn't that be great? Just to find a, and for some other reason, maybe a specific neighborhood or whatever, but there's a way that you can customize that and then tag it to your CRM. And another thing is just add your
So
branding.
Val,
Go ahead, sure.
um, when you're going to mail these out, there is a map feature in Breakthrough Broker, and you can choose some of the criteria, even for every door direct, for stuff that you have mailed directly from Breakthrough Broker. I found that very interesting when I was trying to figure out if you could email or mail directly from here. But you can also set your map for either the area or some criteria. I found that was great. But anyway, go ahead.
No, that's good. And also, I think you can use AI to help you write your letters and then integrate it into this also. So it doesn't have to be just the letters that they have, but at least then you'll
Right.
have the template or the format. And then also it gives you the price right there as to what your cost will be if you want to mail that specific letter. It tells you right at that time. So you don't have to guess
Yes.
or wonder or get it done. If you say, today I am going to do this, all you have to do is enter into your program, do your letter, click, and it'll be mailed for you. And it keeps your communication consistent and professional, and it keeps it personal because they're not all just branded letters. You can change them. Linda, tell us, why do realtors love Breakthrough Broker?
Well, it was interesting. So when I first started using it, I went in and I used it for everything. And I was doing stuff like I always watch CNBC in the morning for the CPI and things like that. I had, and you've seen me do this, taking pictures of CNBC in the morning and posting it. And sometimes they were right, sometimes they were wrong. And I even like the templates for this, that I can just put, it'll post it on Facebook and it's the address. Take a picture just of her and put it up there, or him, whoever's reporting. Everything was a half an hour, and that's on the outside. It was so easy because a lot of these things, even, and then for me, it's the content. Honestly, I spend hours looking for contents that's new and fresh. And if you're in a software that's built for agents by agents, everything I see in here I can use. So that was one of the reasons I loved it. How about you, Val?
So, Linda, you just brought up a great idea. A lot of times we'll hear some economic news and we'll say, oh, we should send out a notice, right? That the interest rates have changed. No, we have to go find the information. We have to do this and that. So, here, for example, and Linda does this, where on the screen right now, you can see a market watch right here. So, you can just take that from somewhere on the internet, or you can from CNBC or one of your favorite economic journalists or economists. I happen to live with one, so I ask him to give me quotes and do your market watch right there. And then you can send it right out, either as an email or as a letter. It looks professional, it's instant, it's fast, it doesn't take a long time to do. And it then positions you, the best part is it positions you as being an expert. It positions you as someone who's on top of the news, knows what's going on, is quick, is knowledgeable, and that's what you want to do. If you want to be set aside from everybody else, just position yourself as an expert just by sending out information. And then if you're not quite sure what to write or you want to make it longer or shorter, just ask ChatGPT to help you with that. That's my new best friend, Chat, Claude, and a couple of the other ones that I use.
I use
So
X.
yeah, you do. I know. But in our industry, time equals opportunity, and we want to reach out to people faster and quicker. And news, especially news, is timely. So if you want to talk about interest rates or a market watch or what's happening in your area, it's timely. You have to have that information out now. You can't do it a week from now that the interest rates went up. It's kind of old news by that time. People have heard it. So this gives it the opportunity to go in, get your information, plug it in there, and send it out. And you could probably do it while you're waiting to pick up your children at school in those long lines.
Just I found everything that they put aside here. It was quick, it was easy. I've never called the help desk. Like I said, we only talked about the MLS. very easy, but
So what we all
go
want to
ahead.
know though is what does it cost and does it pay for itself? And yes, it does. So both agents work hard, but the only difference is one has a system. And if you're like me, I want to have a system that makes it easy. That I can get up in the morning, I can get up in the middle of the night, like I did last night, and I can work on something and it's done and it's off and it's sent. And that it looks good, that I don't have to go to Canva and start something from scratch, although Canva is great. It's been great for our industry. But to have something right there would be so much better. And when your marketing runs smooth, let's face it, your business scales faster and you feel better. If you're like me, you feel more confident when you send something out that positions you as an expert, whether it's a just listed or just sold. And even if you don't have any listings or any buyers in the hopper right now, you can send out some news, some economic news, or something if you're looking for a specific type of property, like I am looking for a property with a downsized master bedroom. There's always something that you can do. And this gives you the opportunity to do that. It's not just if you have a listing. So having a system where you can increase your contact with customers, it's a contact game and it's a systems game. And agents who use Breakthrough Broker have seen a 30% increase in listing conversions, lower design and ad costs, and I confess to that, and higher engagement rates because people will respond when they see something coming from you. And you may hear, I heard from someone this last weekend, a lady who actually in 2007 asked me to help her find a tenant for her property. She wasn't a buyer or seller. She just wanted me to find a tenant for her. And then she had that tenant, and I'm sorry to say that I didn't stay in close contact with her. But this weekend, she reached out to me. She said, "Do you remember me?" I said, "Of course I remember you." It's now she needs to find a new tenant. And she said, "I know you're still working because I see you on social media. I see your radio programs and I see your social media. And that's how I know that you're still there." So it's all about being present and being on contact with people. Being consistent is great. Having consistent branding because you want to brand yourself because it doesn't really matter where you are as much as you're putting yourself out in front of people. So let's talk about how do you get started using Breakthrough Broker? Linda, how did you start?
Well, I just signed up and there is a 7-day free trial, but I
Wow.
started clicking through. Yes, 7-day free trial. So I had one listing and I decided instead of doing what I usually do, with the new listing that I would use just everything from Breakthrough Broker. So it would help me go through the software and see what it was offering me. And that's why I'm so sold. I have a color printer. I would print it out. It looks like it went to the printer. I didn't have to wait. It was so much easier every step of the way. And like I said, then use the social media posts and I just play with it. I click through it. It's very user friendly. I just can't say enough good things about it.
And it's free to explore. So you
Yeah.
can start testing it today. And once you see it, how easy it is, you'll want to use it for every property or for every situation. And if you're like me, I'm a really curious girl. So when I started using it, I would check on this and I'd say, "Oh, now what about this? And what about that?" And Linda kept saying, "But look at the magic letters. Check the magic letters." So didn't you? She
I
did.
did do that.
She did. Yeah, she did. So no
But
matter what
but
you're,
Val, I'm in Florida, right?
yeah.
So we need buyers. We're 140% sellers to buyers. And so I didn't want to be ordinary because this is Florida, we're ground zero. We already seen the letters of I'll buy your house no matter what. I've been getting the phone calls for 2 years, but I saw these letters and I thought, if you're thinking about selling, what could it take? 5 minutes? Every door direct's already set up. In the past, it took me forever to put that together. So I could do a real quick, as big or as little as I wanted. Are you curious what your house is worth? Because in my market, a sale usually turns into a buy. So
Well, why not let your marketing work for you in the background? Use your time
there you go.
to talk to people instead of sitting there trying to create your own flyers all the time, because that can be pretty frustrating. So here's how you can simplify your marketing. We're going to show you. You don't need to reinvent your marketing strategy. You just need to streamline it. Breakthrough Broker helps you do that beautifully. And how you do it is go down to breakthroughbroker.com. It's literally $15 a month. And I think there's a discount if you pay for a year in advance. But this is so much less than all the other things. And you can do away with all the other little simple shiny objects, we call them, and just start using Breakthrough Broker. So either go to breakthroughbroker.com as you see here on your screen, or you can use the QR code and it will help you. And there's also a video. Tristan just did a video a few days ago about Breakthrough Broker that's excellent. It's about an hour long, and if you want to take the time to watch that, you'll find some great tips also. So make sure that you try it out, at least try out your 7-day free trial. And after that, it's yours to use, and you will be glad that you did. Let's answer some questions.
Well, first I wanted to say that they did put the link for the 7-day trial in the chat. So let's,
Great.
if you go ahead and
So
open your chat, it's not too bad.
let's do this. Okay, let's go up here to the beginning. All right, so you've got your 70 free trial right here. Yes, they
think
are
there's
able to be modified further. You can add your broker. Yes, definitely. We'd love to do a newsletter example. If someone would like to do that separately, we definitely could do a separate call with that. Linda, I don't know if you can go back and do, yes, there is a CRM integration. Can you show what the website looks like?
Glad you knew that. I didn't know that. I'm glad you knew that it was CRM. As far as the
Okay.
marketing, okay, so we could do that if they wanted to set up. It's really, you go to the letters, and as you're going through, it offers you, but we could sit and help some people. Maybe we could do that next time. Set
We
it
could
up
do
for
that.
walkthrough, setting up a marketing
And then
campaign.
Shanna Dreesen is also asking, can we show what the website looks like? That she just created one in Canva and she can't figure out the domain, and creating a dynamic QR code to direct people there. And Shannon, we did a huddle recently on QR codes. That's my new thing, is doing a dynamic QR code. And you could even say to someone, follow my QR code for updates on whatever it is that you're doing. So you can even have a personal QR code, so to speak. We'd love to talk about that. So Linda, maybe you can help if you have your computer in front of you. Vicki McDermott is asking, can you show where she can go to see the website and these other things? And did she go direct to the marketing center?
So what I did was I started working on the other one that said something about every door direct. But if you go back, okay, so if you're on the website, there's just marketing center, business center, and articles. And I typically will click through the marketing center. And let's just say I was doing this. We were looking at, let me put up, you see marketing bundles. Let's say new listing, no, listing lead. So turn on every listing into 5 more, turn every listing into 5 more. Somebody gave that the first time. So when I click on the letter, and I can't see y'all, but listing leads open house, it says start creating. You just click on that and it should launch it. It takes you through I'm sorry, I'm getting a delay. We have a launch today. I live 30 minutes from NASA. So my computer's slowing down because we have a launch today. But it's going to walk you through. Here you go. So my letter's up, all my branding's on it. I did that when I set up the program. And this one is hi homeowner, and it gives you everything. Once you edit the letter, there's two sides to it. You can fold it and mail it that way. It does that if you wanted to do that. And then there's a direct mail button. So then you
So you can,
start doing that. That'll set you up for everything. It says mail to a list, address mapping tool. And that's what I was talking about earlier, is if you go through the mapping tool, and all of this comes with the software. That's why I was asking before we started the seminar, were there levels? But what I really like about this software is there isn't. You're either in it or you're not. So you get a choice of everything. So I'm looking at my letter. It says accept the proof. And if you do that, then you'll go through proof the design. So continue to check out. And I did this before. It takes you to the map. And you could take some time. The filter is owner type, owner occupied, tenant occupied, year built, home value. It is so easy to do this. But because I'm not buying it, I'm not going to go any further. I was uploading and using my social media. So you can download the design to your hard drive, or you can do the mail out directly from the software here.
Linda, should
So
we
I hope
show them
that's
the
helpful.
page? Should we show them the page on the website where they can go to where they are, where you are? Are you in the marketing center?
Yes.
Okay, I
Well, I
think we
would
can
just
show
click
them that.
the main page, which is Breakthrough Broker. Go to Breakthrough, click on Breakthrough Broker, and then are they there? Are we doing it? There we go.
Yeah.
And then kick up. There you did it. Marketing Center. What you're seeing on the left side is everything in the Marketing Center. And you just scroll and pick and choose. You either scroll to the left or even the center. It's all the same headings. But it's so concise. I can't even say it enough. I know why people want to see examples because and Val and I talked about it before the seminar. Because Val hadn't used it much and I had used it more than her, but she uses it for different things. But I said, I'll get up in the morning because we're 3 hours apart. I'll see how complicated it is. And I'll let you know at noon. It's her noon, my 9. And I said, it's nothing. And it isn't. But if you want, we can do another one where it shows you how to walk through all the way through to the mailing. But look at all of this that you get. And then if you click on, I think it was marketing bundles. If you go to marketing bundles, click on that. Look at the breakthrough strategies, Tom Ferry content, open house, new listing. I mean, you could hire someone for $10 an hour to do all this. And you don't
But
even have to do it once you set it up. I'm
and
sorry, go
keep in
ahead.
mind that this is already set up for realtors. That's what's important. This isn't Canva where you have to go and adapt it to your system and your company and your business. This is already set up for realtors, which
The
is
content, amazing. The setup for everything. Don't even have to worry about it. Don't have to think what they're saying in it, because sometimes if you cut and paste content, ChatGPT X, not always right. You have to go back and check it. You don't have to check the content here. That's the other time saver.
although it can be customized.
Yes, I've done that too. So that's all I have. Do
Let
we
me
have
see if
any other
there's any
questions?
other questions here. Do the QR codes expire?
That's you.
I don't know if they do expire. Um, Karen or Monch, do you happen to know, or Trenton? We have some.
I believe so. QR codes will always work as long as you have it set up correctly. If you created like a Bitly link and then that Bitly link changed or something, then the QR code wouldn't work. But for the most part, QR codes will live on as long as the landing page is up and running. And then you can even have an image. Here, let me just pop out real fast. You can even have an image and be able to save that image. And then once that image is saved, you can just like hold on the QR code as well. And then that will open up the link. So you're good to go with that.
Great. So let me give you another QR code tip that we discovered recently. If you want to do something in color, but you don't want to pay for color right now, use your QR code, which the QR code then takes you to a color document or a color item, but you didn't have to print it in color to start with. Does that make sense? I learned that from Paul McCartney's mom, who uses that in her books. So they use a QR code and then it takes you to the color item. So that can really be a fun thing to do and save you some money on printing.
Trenton, they're asking if it can lead capture. Can the software lead capture if you use I'm assuming a website?
Well, sure, it can.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it just depends on whatever the landing page is. So if on the landing page that QR goes to has a contact form to sign up on, definitely can do that. It's really just a hyperlink that can take you anywhere you want it to go. So whether you're going to buy tickets somewhere, whether you're going to go to look at home somewhere, you know, if you're going to do home valuation, all those things will work out for that.
Great. Thank you very much for being with us this morning. I hope this will help, most of all, help make your marketing and your sale conversion and your time spent in your business more efficient, a lot more fun. And if you're like me, you'll have fun just going in and exploring all the things that it'll do. And I like to do things because I'll think, oh, I would have loved to have done this, but I didn't have it right at my fingertips, and now I do. So please go back and try Breakthrough Broker and text us or message us. You can message us through the question and answer in Breakthrough Broker. There's a place there.
Or you can find us on Facebook too as
You
well.
can, yes, there's places where our links are as well. Anyone interested in marketing to older adults, it's our specialty right now. And Linda is, like she said, outside of the Space Coast. But right here's another link. And Larry says he's making a postcard right now. Go, Larry. Congratulations and
That
thanks
was
for
fun. I highly recommend you download this and at least try it. I just was hooked. Thanks to everybody.
Thank
And
you for
thanks so
joining
much
us this
for all
morning
your
and thank
help.
you for staying with us. Bye-bye. Have a great week, everyone.